Okay, let's just get right into it because Apple just did something that is, well, very un-Apple. They've launched a new MacBook that seems to break all of their own rules, and it all boils down to one shocking detail: the price. So the real question we're tackling here is simple. How, and maybe more importantly, why on earth is this new MacBook so cheap?
So this all kicked off at a launch event in Shanghai. And you know how Apple events usually go, right? Everything's a little sleeker, a little faster, and almost always a little more expensive. But this time, nope. They completely caught the tech world off guard with what they showed. And here it is, the MacBook Neo. Look, at first glance, it's a MacBook. It's got the look. But honestly, the design and the specs, that's not the real headline. The actual story, the thing that could seriously shake up the entire computer market, is that price tag.
All right, let's get straight to the numbers because this is where things start to get pretty wild. I mean, how is Apple, the king of premium everything, suddenly playing in the budget aisle?
So, they announced the starting price at 4,999 yuan. Now, that alone is huge. It puts this MacBook Neo right up against mid-range Windows laptops, a fight Apple has pretty much always stayed out of. But hang on, because it gets even crazier.
See, what's really clever here is that Apple isn't just making a cheaper laptop for everyone. They're aiming this thing like a laser at a very specific group of people, and for them, the price is about to drop through the floor. And boom, here's the masterstroke. With China's national education subsidies for students, that price plummets to about 3,000 yuan. We're talking somewhere around 400 US dollars. That's insane. This isn't just a discount, it's a wide-open invitation for a whole generation to step into the Apple world.
So you have to realize this whole thing isn't about selling one cheap laptop. This is Apple playing chess, not checkers. It is a calculated, strategic move to capture the next generation of users, and it's a massive detour from their classic playbook.
For decades, Apple's strategy was as simple as it gets: build the absolute best product and charge a premium for it. They owned the high-end market. But the MacBook Neo? This signals a totally new way of thinking. It's about building an affordable on-ramp, specifically for students, to get them into that walled garden early.
And this right here, this lays out the entire master plan. Step 1, reel students in with an affordable MacBook. Step 2, once they're in, they're way more likely to buy an iPhone that just works with it, then maybe some AirPods. Step 3, they start subscribing to Apple Music, get more iCloud storage, and finally, Step 4, before you know it, trying to switch to Android or Windows is a massive pain. They're not just selling a laptop, they're creating a customer for life.
Okay, but you might be thinking, how can they even do this without making a terrible, slow computer? And the answer to that lies in a huge advantage they've been building for years. It's their secret weapon, Apple Silicon. So for anyone who's not super into the technical stuff, Apple Silicon is basically their lineup of custom-made computer chips. Because they design the chip and the software that runs on it, they can get incredible performance and power efficiency that their competitors just can't touch with off-the-shelf parts. This control is the magic ingredient that makes an affordable yet great machine possible.
And for a student, this translates into things that actually matter. You get a laptop that's fast enough for your assignments and even creative projects. The battery genuinely lasts through a whole day of classes. And it runs cool and silent, so you won't be that person whose laptop sounds like a jet engine in the library. It's a premium experience, just without that premium price.
So, a cheap, high-performing MacBook aimed squarely at students. What does this mean for everybody else in the industry? Well, a move this big doesn't happen in a bubble. It's sending a massive shockwave through the entire PC world.
For as long as I can remember, the student laptop market has been totally dominated by giants like Lenovo, HP, and Dell. I mean, their whole business model is built on offering all sorts of affordable Windows machines. And now, all of a sudden, Apple is crashing their party with one of the most powerful brand names in the world.
And this chart really shows you why Apple is such a threat here. They're not just competing on price. They're bringing that seamless, tightly integrated ecosystem, their insane brand loyalty, and that deep hardware and software magic to a part of the market that's never had it. That combination could be a real knockout punch.
The timing here is also just perfect. The global PC market, it's been pretty slow, kind of sluggish. Computer makers are desperate for some growth. So by targeting students with a price they can actually afford, especially in a massive market like China, Apple could be unlocking a giant untapped wave of new Mac users.
All right, so let's zoom out and put it all together. If you're looking at this from a business perspective, what's the real bottom line? Well, the MacBook Neo is so much more than just a new product on a shelf. It signals a fundamental shift in how Apple thinks.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. The goal isn't to sell a ton of MacBooks in the next 3 months. It's about growing the total number of people who live inside the Apple world. A bigger ecosystem means more money from services, more customer loyalty, and a much stronger business for years to come. So, it all leaves us with this one big question. Is this move an absolute stroke of genius, a way to lock in the next generation and conquer a whole new market? Or is it a huge gamble that risks watering down that premium, exclusive brand identity that Apple spent decades building? Honestly, only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, the game has definitely changed.